Buckeyes played 8 games in total last season, dominated Clemson in the Sugar Bowl, made it to Miami, faced the Tide. We know all about what Alabama was last year, and Ohio State was right there to just be another victim for Alabama. But looking at the Buckeyes going into next season, Justin Fields is gone, Trey Sermon's gone. Keep your eye on Master Teague, maybe. I don't know. What are they going to do? Are they going to be the key team in the Big Ten? Are they going to win it all again? We will see. Let's look into it. Hey, what's going on, everybody? Christian Ballard here with Ballard Sports Media. Thanks so much for tuning in today and watching. We're going to be previewing the Ohio State Buckeyes, or A Ohio State. I don't know. They practically have trademarked the term the Ohio State. Yeah, well, guess what? I pull for the Alabama Crimson Tide. So, congratulations. You're another team in the category, along with the Auburn Tigers, the LSU Tigers, the Florida Gators, the Georgia Bulldogs, and so on. You guys get it. Anyway, I'm not here to make fun of the Ohio State, you know, trademark or whatever the heck. Anyway, we are looking into Ohio State for 2021. Losing Justin Fields, he's now in Chicago. This is a team that played 8 games last year. 8 games in college football. Now, last year, obviously, we had a pandemic going on, right? Sorry about that. So 8 games for Ohio State last year, right? They played 6 Big Ten games last year. It was conference only, practically all the way around in college football. The Pac-12 had it. Really, all Power 5 had it, except for the Big 12 and ACC, who threw in one or two non-con, meaningless cupcake games here or there. But Ohio State, they played 8 games, 6 in the Big Ten. Um, including the Big Ten title game. And of course, we remember they were I guess, a 2 or 3 seed. I think they were number 2. Um, and they made it in. They played Clemson in the Sugar Bowl, dominated them. Justin Fields over Trevor Lawrence, 49-28. Then, of course, we remember the national championship. Oh, how sweet it was. I don't care who we had to beat as a Bama fan. I mean, I would have preferred Clemson. But anyways, Ohio State makes it to the title game, loses to Alabama 52-24. We know all about what Alabama did, right? So Ohio State, current in football, losing streak of 1, right? But this year, it's just going to be weird. They'll be good. I think they'll be the favorite in the Big Ten. Definitely in the Big Ten East. The Big Ten's hard to figure out right now. It really is. You got Harbaugh on the hot seat. Penn State's trying to bounce back. I did their preview video last week. Trey Sermon's gone for Ohio State. Master Teague is back. He got some good time last year. He's going to be the key guy, I think, for the Buckeyes at the running back position that you need to look out for. Definitely. And, yeah, keep your eye on him. Chris Olave comes back as a wide receiver. You got a guy coming in, DeMario McCall, Garrett Wilson, who's a junior. Quite a few, actually, some seniors coming back. Sevyn Banks on the defensive side of the ball. He's coming back. It looks like the quarterback's going to be C.J. Stroud, at least for right now. What we're seeing, what I'm hearing. It's going to definitely be interesting to watch. You have in the quarterback room, obviously, C.J. Stroud. You have this Jack Miller the third. He's a redshirt freshman. Stroud is also a redshirt freshman. Kyle McCord. You got J.P. I don't even know how you say it. Andrade, I guess. I don't know. Anyway, we're hearing quite a bit about C.J. Stroud. He's the key guy. He's the quarterback. He seems like he's doing pretty good. I've heard some stuff out there. I don't have, intel or inside, but, I mean, I'll, hear press conferences and stuff, and it seems like C.J. Stroud is doing very, very well this offseason. And, of course, Master Teague will be the key guy at running back. So, Jeremy Rutgert, He was a key guy last year for him, tight end. He comes back. He's using the extra year of eligibility um, for the Buckeyes and, you know, COVID and all that. So anyway, they got a lot of great talent. So that being said, let's go ahead and look at what they did last year. Again, 8 games overall, 7-1 in the 8 games they played. They won every game. They went into the playoffs undefeated. They blew out Nebraska. They beat Penn State at Beaver Stadium. They beat the heck out of Rutgers. They canceled the Maryland game. Uh, and you know, believe it or not, Michigan game was canceled too. At least what I'm seeing here. I don't remember seeing the game. Is Harbaugh ducking them? I don't know. Indiana, that was a key game to look out for. It was a 7 point victory. Indiana is going to be a really good team this year, I think. I'll do a preview on them pretty soon. Um, you know, I think they're definitely a team right there to obviously compete with Ohio State. They're probably going to be the second best team in the Big Ten, really depending on, obviously, you know, how does Penn State look? How do they bounce back? Again, I did their preview last week. Indiana has some key guys. I mean, obviously, all that, you know, Michael Penix and, you know, Freifogel and all them for Indiana's preview. But anyways, so here's what you have. You know, they beat Indiana. The Illinois game got canceled. Michigan got canceled. Michigan State, they won 52-12. They beat Northwestern in the Big Ten title game, 22-10. Northwestern has a pretty good defense. And of course, they just blew through Clemson 49-28. And of course, losing to my Tide last year, 52-24 in the title game. All right, that being said, right, 6-0 in the Big Ten, conference only, 7-1 overall. They could have been 8-0 national champions. When was the last time we had a national champion that didn't win double-digit games and went undefeated? I don't even know. Anyways, that being said, let's look at 2021. All right, 2021. It starts out kind of tough, but I think it could be favorable. Looking at how it opens up, you get a Thursday night matchup. This will be fun. I might have to stream it. At Minnesota. That's already listed as an 8 o'clock game in Minneapolis. You know, it starts out pretty rough, but then it gets kind of interesting, I guess. At Minnesota. Then you play Oregon in Columbus. I think they were actually supposed to play last year. I'm not sure. Maybe it was supposed to be a home and home. It might have been. This will be the first time these two teams meet since the first College Football Playoff National Championship. Remember, between JT Barrett and Marcus Mariota. So that'll be definitely interesting. You guys let me know down below. Is their first test the road game at Minnesota, or do you think it'll be Oregon their first test? I don't know. Mario Cristobal's a pretty darn good coach. Then you play teams like Tulsa at home, Akron at home, at Rutgers. We know about them. Maryland with Taulia Tagovailoa at quarterback, brother of Tua. I'm just going to be honest. I hate to say it because I love Tua and I love his brother. You know, just the whole Tagovailoa story. I don't think he's all that, but maybe second time around, maybe, I don't know. But then you get a bye week, and this is perfect timing. Uh, Again, Indiana could be interesting this year in what they want to do. Um, I don't know, but we'll see. We'll see what Tom Allen has in store. But again, Indiana for another time. Perfect timing off a bye week. So you have, okay, at Minnesota, Oregon, Tulsa, Akron, at Rutgers. I mean, come on. Maryland, bye week, perfect timing on October 16th. October 23rd, you go to Bloomington, Indiana, at Memorial Stadium. One of the, you know, Clemson's Memorial Stadium, Nebraska's Memorial Stadium, and now Indiana. I don't know, one of the many Memorial Stadiums. But you get that. Then you get Penn State October 30th in Columbus. I had Penn State going 11-1 with the only loss to Ohio State. Now that I'm looking at this, I mean, I still might pick that because it's in Columbus. But at the same time, keep your eye on Indiana, and you have to go play them on the road. We'll just have to wait and see. At Nebraska, do I even need to get into Scott Frost? No. Purdue, at home. Purdue's giving you some trouble. You lost to them on the road a few years back, but it's a home game, so shake it off. Uh, Michigan State, and then at Michigan in Ann Arbor. You beat Michigan, what, 8 or 9 years in a row? Almost a decade now. Michigan fans need to be glad it's not like Tennessee and Alabama, although it is getting pretty close. Anyways, that being said, I think it's an overall favorable schedule, especially early on. You don't get, I mean, you open with Minnesota, so you do get into Big Ten play early, but you pretty much get, after that, three non-conference games, and then the rest of it down the road is practically Big Ten. And I think it's favorable, at least to start out. Um, I think you beat teams like Akron and Rutgers. I think you'll be better than Maryland. Potential trap games on this. I really don't know. I had a hard time looking at this and figuring it out. Um, and what that could look like. Honestly, I mean, think about this. Okay, trap games are technically, at least in my opinion, games you're favored in that you should not lose, but you could lose. Right? Keep your eye on this game. This team might upset them, and it could be a little weird, once you get to, I don't know. But CJ Stroud seems to be the quarterback. I mentioned who they got coming back. Um, I think at Minnesota, PJ Fleck has done some things in recent years. 2 years ago, pre-pandemic, they beat Penn State at home. It's a tough place to go when you go play the Gophers. That could be a trap game. I think you'll be a favorite over Oregon. I really do. But playing them early on, man, um, and it is a home game. But what does Mario Cristobal do this year? You know, Oregon should be they. I don't know if I want to say they should be the favorite. It seems like it should be Oregon 9 times out of 10, but it looks like it's going to be USC. Um, Defense should be really, really good. You got Kayvon Thibodeau, um, who I think should be the number one pick in next year's draft. Let's be honest, this guy's a beast on defense. But we know how it is with quarterbacks in the NFL. Again, we're getting off topic here, but that Oregon game, circle it. Pac-12 juggernaut. USC seems to be the team for the Pac-12, but at the same time, we know how Oregon is. Mario Cristobal just keeps loading it up and loading it up and loading it up and being one of the top teams year in and year out, at least for the Pac-12. Not so much consistency and being a playoff favorite all year, but they never. Well, I guess they do disappoint a little bit. But anyways, that Oregon game, I'm keeping my eye on. Right, I think at Indiana, at Minnesota, the Oregon game, and possibly Penn State. I know it's at home for them, but what if? I mean, what are we going to see from James Franklin? Um, Basically, I think they'll be a favorite in every single game that they play. They should be, right? Like, but once you hit a team like Minnesota, right, you'll be a favorite. Will it be double digits? Maybe, maybe not. I don't know. But that could be a trap game. What is PJ Fleck and the Gophers going to look like? We will see. Oregon could be a trap game. I mentioned Kayvon Thibodeau in the defense and what Mario Cristobal wants to build and do, right, and what he has built um, to compete for New Year's Six Bowls. They're normally, 9 times out of 10, they have been a top 10 or 15 team year in and year out at college football. That's going to be a huge matchup. It's early on, too. Penn State, we'll see. I mean, I love Penn State. I got family members. I never want to doubt them. I never want to doubt James Franklin. Um, I did pick Penn State to lose this game only because it's in Columbus, you know. So, but it could be a trap game. Upsets happen, especially in games like that. At Indiana, um, Ty Freifogel, great receiver. Heard a lot about him. This, this could be interesting. And Indiana has they got a lot coming back. They didn't lose much. Ty Freifogel, you got Michael Penix at quarterback. Again, we'll do Indiana some other day, right? But that's a game to keep your eye on. Ohio State has a bye week before that, right? So here's what you have. You lost Justin Fields. He's with the Bears in Chicago. C.J. Stroud will most likely be the quarterback. He seems very talented. Is he as talented as Fields? Look, Justin Fields and Trevor Lawrence and Zach Wilson, those guys, those schools aren't going to have talent just like those, but probably pretty darn close. We'll see. overall, again, a favorable schedule. Trap games, though. Indiana on the road, Penn State at home, at Minnesota, Oregon maybe. I mean, I just kind of went through that. I'm kind of repeating myself here, and I apologize. I'm just trying to figure this out because, it's interesting. Ohio State year in and year out is just great. They're a top-tier program, period. But I feel like they just, what they had last year to make a championship, they lost. And Fields was the backbone. Really, truly. Sermon's gone. Master Teague will be the running back. But it's C.J. Stroud. I don't know what to make of Stroud. I'm not going to doubt him. I'm not going to sit here and say he's going to be what you need, though. Still. But that being said, it's a favorable schedule, and I look at this. You should win every game. You will be favored in every game, unless you get off to a slow start, and then it looks like, yeah, they just straight suck. I don't think that's going to happen. You'll beat Nebraska, Purdue, Michigan. I'm gonna say, though, Indiana and what Tom Allen's doing and what he's had and last year, it's interesting. That's a road game. It's a trap game. I'm gonna give you this. I think Indiana on the road gets it done, or Indiana at home gets it done, and shocks Ohio State, but close. Maybe we're looking at the 30s or something. That being said, I'm going to give it to Ohio State 11-1 with the one loss to Indiana. How does that hold up for them? I don't know. I don't know. But man, would that be something? It could be. But of course, with that being said, if Indiana does that, and again, I'll have to look at their schedule, but I think they'll be a pretty good team. Ultimately, if they get Ohio State at home and they pull an upset, which Ohio State should be favored in that game, Indiana winning the Big Ten East, maybe, I don't know. I hope I'm not overlooking Ohio State, or at the very least, maybe hyping up Indiana a bit too much. But Indiana has a lot coming back. Michael Penix, Ty Freifogel, try saying that 20 times fast. The key guy at the receiving position. They got a lot coming back. They'll have a good defense. But overall, Buckeyes, I'm going to give it to you 11-1 this year in the regular season. One loss to Indiana. And that being said, if that is the case, Indiana, if they run the table and beat Ohio State, they could win the East. But we'll have to wait and see. But 11-1 for Ohio State. Well, that's going to do it for today's preview video. Thanks so much for watching. 11-1 for the Buckeyes. Maybe, maybe not. That loss to Indiana, that I'm giving them. But outside of that, they should look flawless. They'll have good defense. Again, offense maybe not as productive as it was last year or years past, obviously with Justin Fields being there. But I'm not going to doubt C.J. Stroud, who seems to be the guy. But anyways, thanks so much for tuning in and watching today. Do me a favor, hit that thumbs up on your way out. Subscribe to the channel if you're new. Share it out on social media. Let's keep building this channel, man. We're on the road to 400 subs, and it's taken quite a while. But I'm just going to keep doing what I do for you, the people, and just keep putting out content. I'm trying to be a sportscaster. I'm going to be a sportscaster, whatever. I'm so used to saying that I'm not trying to be one. I'm going to be one. And that's a fact. I promise you that. I love you guys. Keep your head up. Jesus loves you. Remember that always. Y'all have a good weekend. God bless. And roll tide. Woo!